my clinic. So what has happened during the the history of our clinic is we started with a window AC, and then we went to a split AC, and now we working with VRF. So the experience with window AC was that it was very efficient in cooling. It never gave us problems. We had a Toshiba unit for around about 20 years, and it was working fine. But then we upgraded our clinic. We shifted to a split AC, and it was working fine until 3 months down the line, it got blocked, and all the water was coming out from the AC. And then we found out that the drainage was blocked. So under all that, during the cleaning especially, they had to take out the entire indoor unit and then go to the service station, clean it out. They placed it back in. So even after that, again after two months, the same thing happened. So it was a regular thing um, to be done, that it has to be taken to the service station, cleaned up, and then so we got into a thought process how to avoid such a scenario, whether something is available in the market which can provide us without the trouble of removing a AC unit while we are working on a patient. So it becomes a real bad headache. Now we are in the COVID situation, and then there are a lot of recommendations that AC should not be on. But then my little thought process I would like to share. I might be wrong, I might be right, but let's talk about something like air circulation. Okay, so right now what we are looking at is CFM. So it's just the CFM is cubic feet per minute. It just stands for cubic feet per minute. It just denotes the amount of airflow which is happening inside the room. So if you have a split AC, the CFM is normally around 280. 280. Now, if you have a ductable AC, or where you have an outdoor unit, and then you have cooled air passing through a duct into the room to cool the room, then usually it is around 380 units can produce around 400 to 700 depending on what amount of the power you per ton. So I'm talking about per ton of AC you put into a space. That's the amount of air which is going to circulate, or the airflow you're going to create. So um, that is one part we have to be really careful about. So there, during COVID times, we are only looking at how to eliminate aerosols or how to filter out aerosols which can contain bacteria, or specifically the SARS-CoV-2 virus. So uh, the problems in could be that what I've done in the clinic is that I've put in UV lights onto the normal filter, and then it is whenever the AC is on, the UV lights are on all the time. Now there were calculations for CFM done by a professional guys, who did the length of the tube to the surface area of the filter, and the number of tubes were changed for, like, in a 8-ton unit there were four UV lights being applied, whereas for a 4-ton there were 2 or 3. So they've done CFM calculations and calculate the amount of airflow, uh, and then they have come to the conclusion that this many number of UV lights are required at this intensity, and it's done in a professional way. So what happens during you have a ductable AC is that you have a inlet and an outlet. You have an inlet and outlet, and you know the way the air is flowing and the amount of air which is flowing. So because you have the number of tons multiplied by the CFM, or what is actually your air conditioner's capacity for airflow. Now, when you put a HEPA filter onto a ductable AC, or you have ACs with split AC as well, you have to increase the power of the air conditioning unit outside, so that the air is forcefully passing through the HEPA filters. But the HEPA filters are having a very high maintenance, because you need to clean them up and replace them once in at least.
I think his connection is gone.
Yeah. Mahendra, you are mute. Please unmute yourself, host.
Yeah, Varghese sir, you are there?
Varghese?
No, it's lost his network.
Yeah, I think.
And
Varghese has lost his network.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And to all those participants, today we don't have lengthy presentations, but we will have a lot of time to discuss. So kindly place all your queries in the chat box soon after Dr. Varghese's presentation.
Yeah,
and,
I think he has come up, sir.
Yeah, Varghese has come back.
Welcome back, Varghese.
Sorry,
Welcome.
it's horrible network issue here.
Yeah,
so.
that's fine. That's fine. You can go
No
ahead.
problem. It
And so I'm gonna give you few tips on how to handle air conditioning, your existing air conditioning. So there is a product available. Most of our clinics have a split A unit. So there's a product available from 3M, which allows you to have a filter which you can add onto your existing air conditioner. Okay, so
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
so just yeah, so can you see the screen?
Yeah,
No.
no.
No, only you. We can still see you.
Okay, so I'm just trying to
Yeah, share screen in the below.
yeah.
I think he has to be made host to allow him to share the screen.
It's okay. It's okay. So what I'm going to talk about is, it's very simple. So you have to search for 3M electrostatic air conditioner filters, and then
Varghese, are you sharing the screen?
no.
Okay.
So I'm unable to share. So
What's it telling you?
So it is right now what I'm talking about is how to convert your existing 3M existing split AC, how to help you out. So basically it's that if you don't want to spend on a an expensive air filter, you can add a filter onto your existing split AC. You put a something called as a 3M electrostatic air conditioner filter on top of your existing filter. It is designed to, it's called a filtrate. It's called a filtrate, and what it essentially can do is it works something similar to our N95 mask. So it can capture large particles. It can capture smaller microscopic particles even less than 2.5 microns millimeter. So the advantage is that the recurring cost is hardly around 1,000 rupees, and these filters need to be changed for similar to like in 2 months or 3 months, and the recurring cost is very minimal. So this is one of the ideas which I would like to share. But these filters cannot be washed, similar to your N95 filters. It cannot be washed. It affects the filtration rate. Another option is to buy an air conditioner, a split air conditioner with plasma ion technology. So essentially these are a little bit more expensive, but these help in giving out negatively charged ions, which I think Dr. Epen is going to talk more about. So these help in increasing the density of these the aerosol droplets, and these are flushed out on its own.
Dr. Varghese, you can try sharing. I think the screen sharing for all participants is on. If you want, you can try again.
One participant at a time, that's all. So now nobody is sharing. So if you can share, you should be able to.
Yeah, so there's something, yeah, let me see.
Yes, it's starting.
Yeah, very good.
Okay.
If you want to show some few slides before also, you can, if some any valid points are there, you can go back.
So this is what I was talking about in 3M electrostatic air conditioner filters. It's called a filtrate. So it just gives the idea of putting a screen on top of your existing split AC. Okay. The other option is to put a UV lamp onto the split AC. But the problem would be that the CFM is so low and the exposure time of the air to the UV lamp is less. So the time of how much of a time the air is exposed to UV light is also important, which was discussed in the last webinar.
So you mean to say, just for the new participants who have come up, you mean to say
Yeah.
that the option of having a UV light which is getting fit into the split AC, that is inside the room compartment, just fitting it over the filter, is not going to work for split AC. Is that the message you want to give?
It is it is questionable as long as the exposure time of the air is very less.
Okay,
So
fine.
the efficacy of putting a UV light on top of a filter or just on top of a AC air conditioner does not give you any
more
protection
exposure time for the air to get
for the air to get sterilized.
But
So,
what about if you put UV lights with the ductable tubes? If you have ductable tubes, can you do that?
yes. So what essentially happens is that if you put into the ductable tubes, if you have fresh air also coming in, then it is better. So because the amount of stale air inside, there's a column between the false ceiling and your original ceiling, and that is where the air is being chilled. Okay. In a ductable AC. So when you put a filter into the filter of a ductable AC, the amount of time the air is exposed to the UV light is greater rather than in a split AC.
Okay.
So
right. So you can do it in a ductable tube. That's what you're saying.
You can do it in a ductable AC. It is more efficient in ductable AC than in a split AC or in a window AC.
Is there any specifications to decide the intensity and the bulb volume or like something like that?
So that is based on the amount of that is based on the CFM. So airflow amount has to be found out, and it has to be done in a calculated way. That is how you have to. So you cannot choose whichever tube light you find that is cheaper or this is cheaper. It is based on the length of the tube is important, and the because it creates the more surface area. Okay, and then the intensity of the UV light as well as the wavelength of the UV light. So we have discussed about the wavelength that it should be somewhere of 230 to 280 UVC. So it should be basically UVC. And then there are different studies which say that 230 is better and 252 is better and so on and so forth. But there is a problem that it could lead to production of ozone as well. Ozone is not so good for us to inhale, so that is a questionable thing which we all have to look into. So another option is to have plasma ion charger, which is also a type of air purification unit, but then there are air conditioners which come with a plasma ion charger. So the difference between an OT and a ductable would be that all the ducts are made out of aluminum rather than stainless steel. So if you think that if you increase the capacity of your outdoor unit, can you make it better? So it doesn't help in that way, because for an OT, your all the ducts are made out of aluminum, and then there's an insulation for the ductable unit. The ducts that is also made antibacterial. So these are more expensive, and most of the ductable units in an OT will have a CFM greater than 400. So basically they are passing through something called as air handling unit, and in that air handling unit you can have UV lights, and in addition to having UV lights, the ducts will be fitted with HEPA filters. So the amount, the number of the tons required for cooling the area will be much higher than for a normal area. So if you have like 25 tons to cool an area, if you're putting a HEPA filter and like an air handling units, then your tonnage will go up to around 32 to 40. So that the amount of electricity bills you will generate will be huge. So these can generate negative pressure like what others are mentioning, but other simple methods like keeping a window open are possible. But the problem would be that, you don't know how the air is going to flow. So if the air flow is not engineered, so it's called engineered airflow. So if the airflow is not engineered, you don't know how the air is going to flow. So the best way to know whether the airflow is right is to have engineered airflow, where an engineer knows where the inlet is and where the outlet or where the air is being sucked back in. So there is a negative pressure in a ductable unit as well. There's a negative pressure which is created, but whether it is sufficient in this COVID times needs to be seen.
Okay.
So I think I've given a small brief outlook on what air conditioners can do, but then not working with air conditioners is not an option right now, because if you wear a PPE and then stand in with a mask and a PPE, a full-fledged PPE, working without air conditioners is quite difficult. So we have to look at air purification in a bigger sense along with air conditioning. Thank you.
And there are some says like you got a antibacterial thing fitted into the AC. What does it really mean?
So it depends on what type of antibacterial. So if it's a filter, the filter needs to be changed.
Okay.
If it's a plasma ion cluster or something similar to that technology, they do not require change as such. They do not need change. They just need to be maintained like a regular AC, and the plasma ion cluster works. So it's basically like negative ions are created, and it attaches to particles and it settles down. As the water is being flushed out, it flushes out along with that. There are other things which are basic, like you have to do regular cleanup. So if you do regular cleanup of your AC by a professional rather than and spraying of hydrogen peroxide onto the AC filters once you're done with your work every day would actually cause it to cause frothing and clean the tubes. So it has descaling effect if you do use hydrogen peroxide. So these are good for something like a split AC, where you don't get clogging of your tubes of the exit pipes. So which is very, very important. Using so there are few questions which are popping up.
Yeah.
Can we use exhaust along with AC? Or use AC with windows open? So the problem with exhausts are a very good idea to use along with AC, but the problem would be that you'll be throwing out all of your air conditioned air, and it would be better to fit the air. In this scenario, it is better to use a exhaust. But for me, I would prefer to have fresh air coming in, so that and keeping a window open, so that you have airflow which is directional airflow. So you have to know how the airflow is in your clinic. So it is very important to know how the air is flowing. So whether it's going away from you or it's coming towards you. So where your aerosol generation is should be going away. So that is a more important part.
Yeah,
that
Varghese,
yes.
I have a question. Do you have a method by which you can determine the airflow pattern in your operatory? In what way can you assess that?
So what during ductable AC, what I've done is that the input is kept over my head, and the exhaust or the outlet is kept away from the chair. So it is in two corners of the room. So that is how we have maintained a airflow in the clinic right now.
Varghese, another, I have someone offered me another solution.
Yeah.
What he says is that you can increase the airflow into the clinic and build up a positive pressure in the clinic.
Correct.
And as far away from you, you can have a small sort of vents which open with shutters. So
Yes.
the pressure increase in here, it pushes the air out through the other end of the whole thing. Right?
So it is essentially like some of the exhaust fans which are right now available. When
Right.
it switches on, the shutters are open, and other times it's off.
Exactly. So
So-
that's what he said. So increase the temperature of your AC, and through the duct you push it in. When the
Yeah.
pressure increase in the room, the shutters open at the other end of the room or wherever, somewhere far away, and pushes out the excess pressure. So you have a circulation going on, isn't
So
it?
for me, positioning an exhaust on top of a split unit would make it more conducive, because the top of the split AC is where the air is getting recirculated. So the amount of air recirculation will be reduced if you have a exhaust just on top of the split AC. If I'm understood.
Right.
So if you look at a split AC, the top part is where the air is being retaken in, and then it's coming out through the cooling system and the fans. So if you have if you plan to put an exhaust, it is ideally kept on top of that, so you don't have stale air going into the more stale air going into the input. You understood? So
No, I want to add something on that.
yeah.
Actually, the air that is going out should be at a height of 3 feet from the floor. And the air that is coming in should be at the top level.
Okay. So what essentially?
Yeah, this is according to the Siemens pressure. Doesn't follow maintain pressure, isolation, and all. It's just feet away from the floor. I mean, above the floor, exit, the air goes out, and air pressure comes from a little higher point.
So thought was easier was to most of our clinics have cleaning drainages connected to it, and if you connect an exhaust to the cleaning drainages, it
Yeah,
creates a negative pressure. Huh? So that was one of the ideas for venting out creating a negative pressure to throw out nitrous oxide. So that is so I think that still holds good for aerosols as well. So because nitrous oxide tends to come down and it's nearer to the floor because it's heavier than most atmospheric air. So there's a question, Hy3M filtrate, who can put it in? Anybody can put it in. Just remove your the normal filter on top of the split AC, just open it and then put remove the cover and just put it. There's a instruction manual along with it, so you can put it on your own, so it doesn't help.
There is a question regarding hydrogen peroxide used in split AC to remove clogging. Is it recommended, or how do we put?
It's on. So if your fans are copper, it will withstand hydrogen peroxide. Normal hydrogen peroxide. I'm not talking about our normal hydrogen peroxide. You put it in, and it causes frothing, and you can pour a little bit more water, and it removes. It causes descaling. So
Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
And do the air purifiers, which has the UV light, will also create ozone.
Yeah. So yes. So I think Dr. Eapen is going to talk
Eapen
about
is going to speak on that.
yeah. So thank you so much.
Dr. Varghese, one
Yes.
question. Like you told 8-ton AC, duct AC, no?
Yeah.
So you are using 4 tube lights. You
Yes.
mean that is a 4 feet tube light? 4 tube lights?
No, 4 different, 4 numbers of UV lights. I will send. I'll
Each
share.
of
Yes.
length?
Yes, of length of the same ductable unit. So it's around 4 feet. 4 of them lined on either side of the filter. And
So
it
you
is.
mean they are coming in the form of a square?
It's fitted on both the sides of the filter. So both sides of the filter, and it is custom made for that. So it was done like that during installation itself.
Dr. Varghese,
Yes.
sorry.
So I'm a little confused with what you said.
So I will share the.
You said ducted.
I will share the what was done in my clinic into the group right now.
Okay. I mean,
actually,
I had the same.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Actually, you said the fresh air is coming in, so you are filtering with UV. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, but the stale air or the aerosol that is there in the room, has to go out. No, that is the main purpose.
So there's an air column. Okay, there's an air column between the false ceiling and your original ceiling, and that air is only getting cooled. Okay, now if you don't have a fresh air unit which is already there which is pushing air into this thing, there is no way you are having fresh air at all.
Okay,
so
you are only having a cool air.
You are having only cool air. Now, and the advantage of having an air column is that the air is having some time for it to be passed through the UV light. You understand? So even though it is being recirculated, there is some time.
Okay.
So you understood. So there's an air column which is getting this UV light into.
Okay.
You understood? See, so that is what is happening. So so it is not like a split AC where it just passes through, or if it's not like a window AC where it just passes through. You have an air column which is exposed to UV light. So that is where a split AC is a ductable AC is working better than a split AC or a window AC.
So there is a question like for a split AC, how many tubes and where to place? It has been already discussed. For a split AC, keeping an UV light is not efficient. That's what Dr. Varghese told, because the
amount of exposure time is very, very less.
Yes.
So just exposing it to just passing, it will give us mental satisfaction. That is different story. But then yes, it doesn't help. We are not UV exposure to us for a long time is hazardous. We are not exposing ourselves to UV light. Only the air is being exposed to the UV light. So it is.
No, I think that's a general question, Dr. Varghese. I think Sir is asking, does long-term exposure causes skin damage? I think we have discussed the first lecture. That depends upon the wavelength. According to whatever the study we have, like it has been documented in one of the publications, which is yet to be peer reviewed. It says that 222 nanometers is a safe wavelength at 20 centimeters.
But every 2 months, depending on the amount of air and the dust you create, you will have to replace it. So it is not a very expensive thing. It's around $1,000.
3M filtrate. What did you say, sir? 3M?
Yes, sir. Yes, 3M. It's called 3M electrostatic air conditioner filter. It's electrostatic air conditioner filter. It's called Filtrete. Filtrete.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
My technician said using that filtrate will reduce the air conditioner efficiency. Is that so?
Yes, it is. See, any sort of filter you put into an existing air conditioner will reduce its efficiency. but you are looking at even if you put a HEPA filter, it's going to increase the. You will have to either increase the tonnage, or you'll have to be compromised with the efficacy of your AC. So anything you put in between, any filter you put in, it will decrease the efficiency. It is very, very true.
Well, thank you. Thank you,
Hello, sir.
Dr.
Good evening.
Varghese.
Sir,
Yeah.
he was going to share his clinic, the photograph or the layout or something like that. We would just like to have, if it is possible.
Yeah, I'm just taking it up from my image now, right now.
Thank you.
Good evening. I just have one question, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I am Dr. Sub from Palakkad. You mean to say it's better to use an air conditioner with an open window than putting an exhaust for an air conditioner? Of course, we got a 3M filtrate and all those things, sir. For the change of
from where you are going to produce your aerosol, it's only that much. So if you have an open door, and you're working along, and the air should flow away towards the exhaust. So you should know where the air is going to flow. That's all.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Fine, sir.